All right, let's talk about JBMM School. If you're from the Jar Jar community, you definitely know the name. It's been a cornerstone of learning for, over 2 decades now? But recently, they've made a pretty big strategic shift. So, what's going on? We're going to dive right into it.
You know, everything comes down to this one simple phrase: base development of every child. Seriously, this has been their guiding light, their North Star for more than 20 years. And if you want to understand the big changes they're making now, you've got to start right here. Because for them, it's never just been about getting good grades. It's about building a rock-solid foundation for a person's entire life.
Okay, so that brings us to their mission for every child. What does base development actually mean in practice? Well, it really boils down to two key things: a deep commitment to what they call holistic education and making sure that high-quality learning is something every family can actually access.
So, let's unpack that term, holistic education. What is it? Well, it's this idea that a student isn't just a brain you pump full of facts, right? They're a whole person. It's about mixing the tough academics with things like art, sports, the creative stuff. And maybe the biggest piece of the puzzle is building their character, teaching them good ethics, all in a place where they feel safe and supported.
And the person steering this ship? That's director Ram Nawaz Saini. He's really the driving force here. From day one, his whole mission has been to make sure that strong moral values are baked right into the education. The goal is for kids to graduate not just being smart, but being good, responsible people. His vision is totally at the heart of what makes the school tick.
So yeah, this isn't some brand new idea they just came up with. We're talking about 2 decades of excellence. They've been living this philosophy for a long time, and honestly, they've got a proven track record. Let's look at the milestones they've hit along the way.
I mean, look at this journey. It all kicked off back in 2000 with this really big mission to serve the nation. Then, through the 2000s, they really started to build a name for themselves. By the time the 2010s rolled around, they were consistently nurturing state-level talent and scholarship winners. You can see how each decade built on the last, which leads us right up to today and this big strategic change.
And this is where the rubber really meets the road. This isn't just talk. We're seeing alumni get selected for top-tier government jobs. We're seeing students crush it in things like yoga at the state level. And so many students are earning scholarships just based on their raw academic potential. This is what that motto, base development, actually produces in the real world. It's pretty incredible.
Okay, so now we get to the heart of the matter. Why we're even talking about this today. They're sharpening their focus. After all this success, they're making a strategic change. And let me be clear, this isn't something they're doing on a whim. It's a very deliberate move to double down on their core mission, especially now when those early years of a child's education are just absolutely critical.
So, they basically asked themselves a really tough but really important question. The kind of question any great organization has to ask eventually. They said, look, in this changing world, how can we do even better? How can we truly deepen our commitment to those foundational years for every single kid?
And the answer they came up with led to this change in their structure. It's pretty straightforward. Before, they covered everything from nursery all the way up to grade 10. Now, they're shifting to a much more concentrated focus, from nursery up to grade 8.
So you're probably asking, why? Why make that change? Well, the reason is actually super simple, and it's all about the students. The idea is to concentrate all their energy, all their resources, all their expertise on building an even stronger foundation for every single kid during those crucial early years. It's about setting them up for massive success later on.
And really, it all comes down to this promise right here. It's about making sure that every student, not just some, but every student, gets the individual attention, the support, and the quality of education that they honestly deserve. It's about putting the child first, period.
So you might think this is them scaling back, but it's actually the complete opposite. They're building for the future. This move is really a launch pad. They're using this focus to invest in some really big growth and new opportunities. And we're not talking about fuzzy, someday plans. This is happening now. First, they're expanding the management team to bring in more expertise. Second, they're pouring money into enhancing the school's infrastructure. And get this, they're already planning a whole second branch in the city. This is all about growth and ambition.
Of course, with any change, you want to know what's staying the same, right? Well, the core commitments to excellence are not going anywhere. We're still talking smart classes with smart boards, full transportation facilities, and that affordable fee structure that makes it accessible for everyone. Those pillars are staying put.
So, what's the bottom line here? What's the one thing you should remember? It's this.
This move is not a reduction. Let me say that again. It is not a reduction. It's a recommitment. It's them doubling down on their original promise to build the absolute strongest foundation for every child that walks through their doors.
And that really brings us right back to where we started. By sharpening their focus, JBMM School is putting itself in an even better position to deliver on its mission, a mission they've held for over 2 decades, building foundations, shaping futures, and serving the nation just like they've been doing since 2000.